It's a beautiful, beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another exciting edition of Intouch. Thank you so much for your time. It's always good to know that you're part of us now. Today, I'm going to be, profiling a man behind a very sophisticated and, of course, fantastic movie production, the Mylon Brothers. I think, if I remember very well, last year I did talk about, the Mylon Brothers production from Copperbelt. And I did mention that, these guys have really, really done an amazing job, an amazing work on that beautiful piece, which really preserves and, of course, talks about a certain, period of life here in Zambia. And, of course, it's part of our history. Now, I've been itching, to talk to this guy and, of course, just to get to learn more about what really motivated him to get into the production of the Mylon brothers, and of course, just how easy it was for him to cook up that story, get all the basic facts, put them together, and of course, premiere them in a movie form as well. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is Mr. Hicks Yamba, who is behind the production of the Mylon brothers. Mr. Hicks, good to have you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I've been itching to get my hands on you so that I can just get to know more about you. Okay. You look like one of the Mylon brothers.
Not really. Not really. Yeah. Okay. I may look like one of the Mylon brothers because I'm Zambian.
Because you're Zambian.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah. How did you manage to get all the facts together, put them together, and of course, be able to come up with such an amazing production of the Mylon brothers?
Nason, it wasn't easy. It was a very challenging task, such that we had to work with the Saka Museum. Getting all the information together. Actually started researching about the Mylon in 2012. Then 2014, I almost gave up. Then I said, okay, I'm not a failure. So I still continued researching. 2016, we shot a pilot project, which we started looking for sponsors, people coming on board and helped. So 2017, we went camping for the Mylon brothers. So it was really hectic, very challenging.
Interesting. You started about in 2014, 2013, 2014, gathering information.
Yes.
Why did you almost decide to give up?
It was, I thought this film is too big for me. I can't do it, and I was motivated to do it when I watched The Blood Diamond. Yes. So I was like, okay, see, we have people doing real life stories, then why shouldn't we start as well doing that? So that really gave me the courage I needed.
Okay. Well, do you think your production is a breakthrough to reality movie production in Zambia?
I think so. That's why we did that, so that we could motivate others out there to also start doing films that affiliate with society,
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. When did you think of, when did you begin to start thinking of doing the Mylon brothers? The time that you heard of these guys in the Mchinga area, or it was something that you had at the back of your mind way before?
No, I wanted to start with Mshala. I started researching about Mshala, then the Mylon brothers came. Then by 2012, the story became viral. Everyone wanted to know about the Mylon brothers. I also was eager to find out more about the Mylon brothers. So I said, okay, a lot of people don't know what really happened. So that's what motivated me to start researching it and do a film about it.
Okay. Now, according to your discovery,
yes,
who were the Mylon brothers, really?
Okay. Just the name itself, Mylon, and how the siblings were named. There's Fabiano, there's Stefano. So there also talks to say they are not really Zambian, but from Portugal.
Okay.
Yes. Because if you look at the name Mika, he's Michael, but they call him Mika. Fabian, they call him Fabiano. Stefan, they call him Stefano. So you see the naming and just the surname itself, Mylon. So there is also that to say they might not be Zambian or they are Zambian.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, during your research, what else, what other unique information, facts, did you discover about the Marlon brothers
Brothers.
that possibly Zambians might not have known?
Okay. One thing I did was they always had their brothers back. They were always brothers keeper.
Mhm.
You know, despite everything, they would always look for each other. You know, so
Okay.
that was a very good aspect. You know, not everyone does that.
Okay,
Hmm.
interesting.
Yes.
In your research, were the Marlon brothers just three?
No, there were not three. There are actually six Marlon brothers.
What, six?
Six, yes.
From the same family?
Yes.
Wow.
The firstborn is actually named. Yeah, you share the same name. He's also Nelson.
Serious? I didn't know. His Nelson.
It's Nelson, yes.
Wow.
Nelson, there's this Friday, and there's Mika, and there's Stefano, and there's Sunday, and there's um,
Fabiano.
Fabiano.
Okay.
Yes, the gang leader,
Okay.
aka Tunda.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. So, how long did it take for you really to finish your research and, of course, come up with the basic facts and put the facts together before production?
5 years. 5 years.
Okay.
We started in 2012, then 2017, that's when we shot it.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Were you working with somebody, or maybe you just worked alone?
For starters, I did everything on my own. Then I talked to Mr. Banda from Kwacha Magazine, Said Banda. Then he said we can work together. So from there on, we started working together.
Okay.
Yes, but after we shot the film.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hicks is my guest, and of course, he's the man behind the Marlon Brothers, of which the movie is out and looks quite original.
Yeah.
Different scenes. I love, the green background,
Okay.
and of course, the paintings. I'm sure most of the people were not that black.
No.
Exactly. So you did some you did some cosmetics on them.
Yes. Well, we actually wanted to make it more real. During the casting, people that were supposed to do the same acts, so we also looked at features, how this one looked, how this one looked.
Mhm.
So we're trying to make sure it come as they were.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Tell us a bit about yourself, really. Who is Mr. Yix?
Okay. The is as me.
Mhm.
I come from a family of two. There's only me and my young sister.
Okay.
She's here in Lusaka.
Mhm.
I went to Highland High School. From there, then I did a simple course, marketing. Then I went into film production now, which is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yes.
So what motivated you to get into film production?
Okay. As a boy, I watched a lot of films, and I could sit and criticize films. Saying, okay, they would have done this, they would have done this. So instead of just me being behind the TV and criticizing other people's works, I said, okay, maybe I should do it myself. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Now, what did you want really to achieve through the film industry?
Okay. Our goal is to be the sole ambassadors to teach people about the awareness, of bad vibes. There's alcohol consumption, there's drug abuse, there's sexual harassment, all that. A lot of people they're not aware about these things, but through our films, we also do drama. Yes, we could teach one another how things work.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
So it's
So
really fun.
you guys, do you work as a group? Because you've talked about, we also do drama and so on and so forth. So are you working as a group?
Yeah, we joined forces with this Kwacha magazine.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Nkwazi Theatre Club. There's Maul Entertainment. There's Hicks Yamba Films. And then there's T Life, the Loving Youth Foundation, also working together with it.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
We all have one vision.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. So from Copperbelt.
Yes.
Okay. Looking at the talent that is coming from Copperbelt, how is the movie industry in Copperbelt performing?
Okay. It's moving at a slow pace, but we're slowly getting there.
Mhm.
You know, there what we don't motivate people to do films there is because they don't have cinemas there to premiere their films after the production. They always look up to Osaka here. So traveling from Copperbelt to Osaka here, it might be a challenge. So that's what really is killing the film industry there.
Okay.
If we have theaters and cinemas and a lot of TV stations there, people can go to and they do their production. I think that will really motivate people to start doing films.
So when you shared your vision, when you shared your idea, your dream with with your parents and of course your family members about your passion for the movie industry, how was the reaction from
Okay,
you know?
I remember them saying films in Zambia, no. Just concentrate on other things, you know. I said to them, okay, I will. I also came to a point where I quit films. Said, okay, it's not really doing it for me. You know, I was working with Mindset by then, and I was just a writer there and character building. Yes, so I used to get a lot of negative energy from my family saying, no, this is not doing it for you. So I started doing it in hiding. You know, I couldn't tell them where I was, where I went. So I started creating stories where, okay, I'm going to see my friend there, and yet I would go for rehearsals. You know, because I felt really good when we were rehearsing and filming, but I couldn't show it to my family because they were not in support by then. But now when they saw us doing the film called Just in the Wind, that's the first production that I featured in, then they were glad. You know, I remember when my uncle came to visit, they even put the same film saying, this is what your nephew is doing. You know? So I smiled and I walked out in the second film, and they slowly began to understand me and support me.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
So now, how is the level of talent in Copperbelt when it comes to actors, actresses, and movie producers,
Movie production.
script writers? How is the talent there?
Okay. Most of the people they're not really into film writing, but they want to act. You know, there is Luwambe Training Center there, which is really helping people there to groom their talents and everything. So I'd say we slowly getting there. Like I mentioned earlier, the only challenge that they have, or the thing that discourages them to do this, is because of these facilities that we lack in there. Yes.
In the Marlon Brothers, one thing that I also noticed, you had, police uniforms. You
Yes.
had a lady who who was in a police uniform, nice kept there, another gentleman there. You used guns and all that. Where did you get all that equipment?
Okay. That one. Her name is Nancy. She comes from Quasi Theatre Club. As I mentioned, we're working together now with her. Yes. So those are actually real police officers. Yes, from Quasi Theatre Club. So,
Wow, real police
yes,
officers.
real police officers, real guns, everything was real, just apart from the bullets.
So those were guns. How did you acquire those guns?
Okay, I remember writing a letter to Mrs. Grace Katongo from the HQ. Yes, then she referred me to go see Mubitana, who's the director of Nkwazi Theatre Club. Then we spoke to him. Then he will come to movie. He said, okay, yeah, it's about time we started doing these real films so that we take them to archives, And he was happy and worked with us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now, for the sake of the general public, make me understand something. Those people who are doing the shooting,
Right.
exactly. Are those police officers?
No, we have actors doing that, and we have also police officers. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, in terms of how to hold the gun, how to pull the trigger, and all that, who took them through those, those important aspects, so that at least they can because you know
Yeah.
the way they're depicted, you can tell that these guys, it seems like they know exactly what to do with the gun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. One thing about film directing, you have to be very good at watching films and how people react in certain things. So, as a director of the same film, I kind of watched a lot of war movies. You know, where I should know how to hold a gun and everything. Because I wouldn't direct you to do a scene that I am not familiar with. Because for you to write a film and direct it, you have to watch it before everyone else watches it. Before you even film it, it's there in your head. You've seen the whole scene, the whole film, the entire film. You've watched it already. So as you are directing it, you're getting it from your head as much as from the script. So I did that with Dinesh Chipampe, Camshaft.
Mhm.
Yes, he's my assistant director there. Yes.
Okay. And is the Mylon Brothers the biggest project that you guys have done so far, or maybe there are other subsequent products that you've done?
Okay. With me, it's my first production. Yes, but I've featured in some other productions. So with me, it's big. Yes, because it's the only production that I have right now.
Okay.
And in November, we're planning to shoot another project, which will be bigger than the Myron Brothers. It's also based on a true story again.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. And of course, how far would you love to see the Mylon Brothers go?
As far as it can, as far as it can, you know. We don't want just to have it here in Zambia. I'm hoping it even goes international so that people would know what really happened. Because the media talked about the Maron brothers. I'm sure a lot of people heard about it, and I would want them to get to know what really happened rather than just clicking on areas where they're not even aware of. Like a lot of people ask questions to say well, there were only 3, but when you tell them there were 6, they're like, how come there are 6, you know, or that. So I really want them to watch it and see what really happened and how they survived, you know. Yes.
So, from the family of 6, how many were gunned down?
4.
4 were gunned down.
Yes.
And of course, the other 2,
The other 2 were asked you there.
that's 2 there.
Yes, one is a repentant killer, and the other one had mental capacity, so he never really participated in everything.
Okay. So, how does the community treat the 2 surviving?
They've actually moved from where they were. They've gone to Kamakuti village. That's where they're living now.
Okay.
Yes.
But
With the mother.
but the communities have accepted these guys.
Yeah, you know, they have, but there's some that are still, you know, with the idea to say these guys are not good. Because I remember there was, at some point, they also wanted to ban the mother alive because they were saying she gave birth to demons. You know, the community, yes. Yes, until she had to leave the village.
Wow, interesting. Did you at some point during your research, did you at some point have have an acquaintance meet the other remaining 2 brothers and the mother?
I only met the mother and Nelson guy that Friday, and I never got the chance to talk to him.
Nelson is still alive.
Yes, he's still alive.
He's the repented.
No, Friday. Friday, the repented.
Friday is.
Yes.
Oh, Nelson is the crazy one.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
The
Oh my
best one.
goodness. He's the misfortune one.
Yeah, he's wherever the mother is, he's there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, wow, that is a synopsis of the movie that you'll be seeing later on this year. It's called The Mylon Brothers. I started talking about this movie, if I remember very well, last year, somewhere in November, December, because I came across the poster of The Mylon Brothers on Facebook. And of course, when I looked at it, I was like, wow, because, I've been talking about, creativity in the film industry. I would really love to see, our producers, our script writers, and of course, everybody involved in the production of movies really get to the root, to the bottom of, some of these stories that we shoot, some of these stories that we film, so that people can be able to get the essence of the movie. I think one reason why we fall so much in love with some of these movies that we get attached to quite a lot is because people who are behind the production really go so deeper in terms of thinking, creativity, the level of the story, and so on and so on. They don't just scratch the top part. Okay, I met this girl at the market, we fell in love, she took me to her relatives, wanantira manzi, but I persevered. From there, I married her, end of the story. I think, we have gone way beyond that level of storytelling. I think we need to go deeper. And that is the direction that, the movie industry is actually heading to. In America, in Ghana, in Nigeria, South Africa, and so on and so forth. And Zambia being a toddler, industry, we are supposed to follow that footstep. So when I saw the Marlon Brothers, I was keen in knowing exactly the content. I really wanted to get to know the content. Even today, I'm still keen in seeing the actual content of the movie. So for today, we're just going to give you a snippet of what you expect to see in the movie. We're going to give you a snippet of what you expect to see in the movie, but it's an amazing, amazing movie. Now, Mr. Hughes, what is your next project?
The Black Mountain.
The Black Mountain.
Yes.
The one that just collapsed? The one that just collapsed?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's Armageddon, you know that?
Okay. So in the film, it doesn't collapse because I wrote the script before that could happen. That happened. So in the film, there's no.
So you cannot change the script to obviously bring in the aspect to say, as people were now, getting the benefits of the Black Mountain, it collapses.
One thing about film now, so everything that you had has to contribute something. With film, you walking out of this studio, you pick a stone that it has a story to tell in the next scene to come. We don't just show things randomly.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So is that a provision of the part 2? Because I think people will be interested to know how it collapsed and stuff like that.
Yeah, there is.
I hope you guys, you had somebody who filmed the whole entire, when it was collapsing and all that.
No, no. Social media is broad nowadays. Everything is at your fingertips. So we have.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, for now we'll take a break. When we come back, I'll also take you through the trailer of the Marlon Brothers so that you know exactly the concept behind the movie that we've talked about. But for now, let's pay some bills. We'll be back shortly.
Great. You actually look great in the movie. All right. So how was it like for you to be in the movie?
It was just good for me. I liked it.
I think anything you don't understand, you'll be reluctant to it.
Okay.
Look at the story where Jesus walked on water. I mean, it's not every day you see a dude walking on water.
They call you at a concert. I'm a minister to people. Should you get paid as a gospel artist?
Yes.
There's a verse which says,
Really,
for
really
the
sick.
word has been freely and then
And freely
I don't know where it is exactly.
I know that's a very hot issue. If you're a business person and you put up a concert and you're charging people, I'm gonna charge you.
All right.
The game
That's the way it's supposed to work.
Yes, that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm an artist, and this is what I do for a living.
This war on Twitter about music is that the private sector cannot even inject money in Zambian music because you guys sample a lot of other guys' music. What's your reaction to that?
Oh man. I do sample and okay.
We bring you the best music videos, all genres, every day 12 hours to 13:30 on your favorite channel, QTV. Ngoma. Ngoma, every day 12 hours to 13:30.
We love local. All of your favorite Zambian hits. And much more. Z Rampage, Fridays 9 to 12 on QFM.
You're still watching Intouch on QTV, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, I'm still talking to Mr. Hicks, who is behind the production of the Mylon Brothers. Okay, now, for now, let us look at the snippet, at least just, the cream of, just the top hat, the cream on your cake of what you expect the production to look like. Okay, so now this movie is based on a true life story of an event or a series of events that happened in 2011, 2012, 2013 in the history of this country. A certain group of guys who called themselves the Mylon Brothers went on rampage, killing people in one of the valleys here in Zambia, to be specific, in Muchinga Valley. And of course, it raised quite a lot of, public concerns, public outcry, and they had to run serious battles with the ZP, the Zambia police, and of course the soldiers as well, and other, law enforcers, just to make sure that, everything is restored. And of course, they killed more than 20 people. Okay, so now, what they used to do is, when they just find you, it could be that you're at your farm, you're, farming and stuff like that, they'll just gun you down, they'll just kill you and stuff like that. Okay, but later on, the, government was successful in bringing 4 of the brothers down. Okay, the whole entire number, there were 6. One mentally, retarded, so did not take part. The other one is repented, but the other 4, they were actually gunned down. Here is the trailer.
Not too long ago, our country faced its greatest challenge. The Mylon Brothers brought horror not only to the local people, but the country at large. Led by his bloodthirsty brother, Fabian, also known as Tunda.
That we shall certainly capture him.
Nangule mpolopolo. Kutanuka.
Refiship. Yoba police that bomba nani.
Umefika ndani. We'll bring them to book.
The Mylon brothers were the most brutal and serial killers.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that is the cream of Zambian film industry, the Mylon brothers. Okay, great. So now, where did the filming take place?
We shot that one in Tuntu Mouse, Kamaira area, Katete village, they call it, yes. And from there we got some clips in Kawangwe. We used Kawangwe as the dam there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So you did not actually go to the actual Muchinga Valley where the actual killing took place?
We wanted to, but not because of the procedure. We had to go through initial chiefs and agriculture for them to give us bodyguards, because the terrain there is not we're not familiar with
exactly.
it. There are lions there, there are pythons, so in the film is really that much in the bush. So the actors said, okay. Shooting in the bush would be so challenging. Some there they don't like snakes. Not to mention lions. I myself was the fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how many in total were involved in the acting, production of the film?
The whole crew, we are 39. Yes.
39.
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. So I know I could be jumping on. I could be moving faster than the bullet itself. I know the movie is yet to premiere,
Yes.
but what were you trying to project at the end of the day?
Okay, it's all about the awareness. Because you see something going up, like the dangers. How you groom your kids and how you touch them, and there are other people that have this perspective to say, once I do this, I will do this. Mostly going for rituals, ritual killing, so that you acquire riches, because that's what really happened to them. They just didn't wake up and started killing people. He went to a witch doctor, then was promised this. When he does this, couldn't happen, so he blamed the mother over it. So he started beating the mother till she was rescued. They had to lock them up by the headman. Headman. Then, since there are no police house there in Luana Valley, so they had to just lock them somewhere, for some people, so that they could take them to the police station, because they started misbehaving a long time ago. They could walk into a bar, find you drinking, they grab your beer, they beat you on top of it. Whatever they find you with, they confiscate it's theirs. So the headman did give several warnings, to the mother, saying if she doesn't tell my kids, they will kick them out of the village. But they couldn't stop. They continued until that day. They blamed the headman to say he wants to control us. So they went and killed the headman. The very same day, April 27, 2007. That's when they killed the headman. They killed him. Then the son to the headman, Roy Mondoroka Jr., he got his father's gun. And he's the one who shot, actually, one of the Mylon brothers dead. So seeing that, that's how they fled. They said, people want to kill us. They said, people want to kill us. They didn't put it to say we did this to people, but they said people want to kill us. So they fled. Four of them. Five. One gunned down, Sunday, Mylon, gunned down. Then Friday, Stefano, Mika, and Stefano. They fled. So they lived in the bush for 4 years, without seeing. So they used to wear masks, because they needed to eat to survive, So yeah, in the bush, whenever they find you walking with whatever you're carrying, they tell you, let's share, And if you resist, then they will kill you, so that they get what they want.
So according to your research, what language were the Mylon brothers using? Because from the onset, you mentioned that looking at the way the names were phrased and the surname itself, they may not have been Zambians.
Yes.
They might just have come to live in Zambia, but they might not have been Zambians.
Yes.
So what language were they using?
Okay, there in Shinga, most of the people use Lala mixed with Lamba.
Mhm.
You know, this like Tula Tuabani, it sounds like Pemba, you know, but it's actually Lala and a bit of Lamba. So that's the language they used. Okay, they were born and bred there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. So in your research as well, did you at some point when you talked to the mother or maybe to the other related people to these guys or people who knew them close, did you find out exactly why they went on rampage, killing people?
Okay, what really happened to them was, if you are on a run, Nelson, and then here is me, I come across you, then I'm like, Nelson, then it's obvious that I'm going to report where your whereabouts. So for you to protect yourself, what would you do? So then they said, okay, we can't buy your silence with anything, so we'll just kill you. So that you don't tell anyone that you've seen us. So they used to kill with the fear of being noticed that they are there. Because they just lived within the area. You know, when people thought they've gone extinct or they've run away, I don't know whatever they thought. But if you could go back with a story in the village saying, I've seen them, they're still there. So that really was a threat to them. So that's why they killed.
Okay.
Yes.
How many people did they kill altogether in attendance? I don't know whether you were availed that information by government security departments and the village.
Yeah. Okay. They simply killed and dumped. So there might be some other bodies that they killed and never really were discovered. So they said 12. The mother says 15. Just like that. You know. But judging from the victims there, the locals, you know, they did a local counting to say how many people have gone missing in the area. You know, it might be some people just fled the village with a fear of being killed. You know, but as people don't know where their whereabouts, they could count them as in dead or deceased.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
Interesting. So now that this movie is done, and of course. You have finalized everything. How do you intend to show it to the general public?
Okay, we're going to premiere it on the 18th of September with Stakeniko Mandahill. Yes, then hopefully by in Kofaport, yes, on the 9th of September.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
And with your help, of course, advertising it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Wow, that is amazing. And I'm sure that people have heard of the whole production and of course much of it. How is the response so far?
It's awesome. You know, people are even asking us to put subtitles there so that those that don't understand Bemba would actually read and understand our thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the movie is done in Bemba.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah. And have those subtitles been included and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. For the sake of those that don't understand Bemba.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up the show today, for those who have missed it, let me first of all also now let me also give them an opportunity of seeing the trailer of the Mylon Brothers. I think I'm one person who's passionately talked about the need for us to preserve that as part of the history of this country. The way we've preserved, the Mushala issue, the serial killer issue, and of course the other issues, the Laishina, and so on and so forth, there is need to preserve such, important information for the future as well. And I'm glad that, we have people who have decided to put it in a film form so that at least Zambians can have an idea of what was happening between 2007 to about 2014 when the Mylon brothers were gunned down as well. Here is the trailer once again, ladies and gentlemen. Then on the other side, I'll be wrapping up the show with Mr. Hicks.
Not too long ago, our country faced its greatest greatest challenge. The Mylon brothers brought horror not only to the local people, but the country at large. Led by his bloodthirsty brother, Fabian, also known as Tunda.
That we shall certainly capture them.
Nangule mpolopolo. Kutanuka.
Iyo abapolisi tatugomba nani?
Apa umefika ndanipo? We'll bring them to book.
The Mylon brothers were the most brutal and serial killers.
Beautiful, don't you think so? Beautiful, terrific, hilarious, amazing. I don't know whichever word you could actually use to describe just the content of that particular project. It's a huge project, quite huge, very beautiful, and I'm sure that it's a breakthrough in the movie industry here in Zambia. And I believe that with more of such productions, we should be able to move a step further and introduce ourselves to the world, to the rest of the world, that we are capable of, doing something amazing that the whole entire world can actually appreciate. So for this year, 2018, I think I've seen amazing productions. Trust me, I've seen amazing productions, and this one is just an addition to what I've already seen so far. Okay, check for instance, I'm Not a Witch. Okay, check for instance, Mylon Brothers, and a whole lot more of great movies that we have seen so far. And to everybody involved in the production and of course in shooting, screening, acting, I think you guys are doing an amazing job. Keep it up, and of course I'm sure that the Zambian movie market will be appreciating your effort. Going forward, what's next for you guys?
What's next is we want to create employment. That's to start with. Film is not just there for teaching and as entertaining. It's also a platform where we could keep ourselves busy, rather than engaging in other dangerous vibes, like beer drinking, smoking, and all these other things, So it's actually something that you could earn a living out of it, We teach people how to write, how to direct, how to good people in society, in as much as we are spreading the peace, the love, So we're also creating employment, and we'll also have another film. It's called Twine. It's going to start showing on the 3rd of September. It's Amazing Magic. It's actually a series.
Okay.
Yes, that one is just shot here in Lusaka.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
It features Dumbui, Esna Chushi, the one who did Miss Ozzy. Yes. She's a leading actress there. And I'm also one of the actors there, and I'm also co-directing.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. So now, for you, what more do you think needs to be done to, get the movie industry from where it is today to the next level?
I think what's needed is for us as filmmakers to work together, and the general public to embrace this, as they come on board and support this, it will really motivate people to work really hard.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, Yix, great job done on that movie. Thank you so much for coming.
So much.
And of course, thank you so much for sharing the trailer with us. I'm sure that we'll be looking forward to more great productions from your team.
Thank you so much.
Interesting.
Yes, and also the same film is also available for sponsorship
Mhm.
for those who would want to sponsor and be part of the premiere.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait for the premiere of the Mylon Brothers. I'm sure that it's an exciting movie and quite a lot of lessons to learn from that particular movie as well. Yes, Yex and his production team, I think, did an amazing job, an A plus for them. And looking forward to more, of such kind of productions. And of course, if you're into movie production, acting, and of course the script writing and all that, I can assure you that the market is growing in Zambia. And of course, Zambians are appreciating their very own local productions. And of course, obviously, in the next couple of years, 2 or 3 or so, we should be able, to compete for awards at an international level. I'm sure that we should be able to get to that level. Thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, that does it for me today. Until next time, it's bye-bye.